It's a place that may seem imposing to the average passerby, but for many decades, this building was home to many children. For over 100 years, the Bangor Children's Home served the greater Bangor area as an orphanage, taking in children who had nowhere else to go.
I was screaming. I didn't like the looks of the place. And I remember my father picking me up, and I had my arms around him so tight that he had tears going down his cheek.
Children came from all around the state and beyond, due to all kinds of circumstances, but the binding affinity child residents had in common was a lack of adequate care.
And all of a sudden, I had this like volcanic emotion erupt in me, and I was sobbing, and I said, he left me there.
Established in 1839, children, or inmates of the asylum, as they were known for decades, were provided shelter and found families to adopt them. But still, many were placed out into foster care again and again, or became servants, many possibly enduring abuse and further trauma.
Looking back, the conditions might have been harsh by today's standards, but by what was actually going on in society then, where there was no social net to protect families and children that were in dire conditions. This was definitely a step up for those kids, for most of them.
And because of these painful realities, former residents oftentimes have powerful memories.
And you'd get times when you'd get to crying and get to wondering. I remember praying, God, let me see my brother, please. And I would get to crying, and I'd go in to one of the house mothers, and they'd take you right in their arms and talk to you and love you and rock you. And
memories which would often shape a moral compass.
And I swore, even as a little girl, that my kids, no matter what, I would never leave them. And I swore that I would repay the state by making something of myself.
And in 1975, when the state transitioned away from using orphanages to foster care instead, the building became the Hilltop School, which was made possible thanks to the original deed that requires the building to be used for the benefit of children. And so its legacy continues, raising and educating new generations of Bangor's children, just like it has for 186 years. In Bangor, I'm Emma Smith for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.